Hello Internet, my name is Sephias, and today we're going to be having a look at Sonic Mania. Now I don't have to tell you firsthand that Sonic the Hedgehog as a character has been, for lack of a better term, on life support. Despite the fact that I, myself, grew up with a Sega Genesis as opposed to a Super Nintendo, very much enjoyed the classic 2D Sonic games, I didn't have much interest in what came after. Sonic Adventure was just too out there, too cheesy, and to this day I still have no interest in picking it up. Despite all that as well, there seems to be a strange fan base devoted to Sonic in this new style, loving all the strange creative decisions and quasi-furry, yipping, Rule 34, bitch, cunt, cock. Point is, I didn't care for this new direction for Sonic and moved on, as I'm sure many others did. Every once in a while a sort of step in the right direction would occur, like Sonic Generations or Sonic 4, but they still were tinged with that novel, we're trying to remain hip instead of going entirely back to our roots kind of vibe. Sonic, I believe, is worth more than this and entirely capable of being right on par with Mario. Cue Sonic Mania, a game that seeks to take everything back to square one as a true follow-up to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, going back to the classic 2D style, but doing things that weren't possible on the Genesis. The question is, does it succeed in reinvigorating this tired, beaten, raped, and shot franchise? Does it manage to create a game that not only would appeal to the old-school Sonic fan, but even those that have never played a Sonic game and want to give it a shot? Amazingly enough, fucking yes! As a reviewer, I have been at this precipice one too many times, and the answer to that question is usually no. Without a doubt, games seldom ever meet the hype's expectations, but this is one of the few rare examples where the developers genuinely care to create a retro yet new experience that satisfies all possible gamers that would be interested in this title. Finally, a good Sonic game. I can't believe I actually said that. The game has a save system similar to the one in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and as expected, you can play as Sonic and Tails, just Sonic or just Knuckles. If you play as Knuckles, the stages are actually redone with him in mind, which is great because it's kind of like playing a whole new game. I'm not going to go into detail of the story since it's told entirely through the visuals and you can figure it out, it never changes. Dr. Robotnik, or hold on. Dr. Eggman. Right. Dr. Eggman is harvesting Chaos Emeralds, and apparently it's either creating some sort of time distortion or portal something. I don't fucking know. Point is, you go from Angel Island to Green Hill Zone for the first level, and despite the fact the game uses a lot of levels from previous games, it's actually pretty well done and not just recycling content. All the levels start familiar for the nostalgia value, but eventually twist and turn and transform into something entirely new, with several mechanics in each level to keep things interesting. One of the things I have to give this game credit for is how non-linear the levels are. Classic 2D Sonic games tend to have a very left-to-right bias to them. You just go right, sometimes you can go up and down, but you generally just go right. Here, while you have plenty of opportunities to go fast, there's also a lot of chances to explore the level, find hidden bonuses, checkpoints, and giant rings. The game rewards you well for taking the time to smell the roses, still letting you speed through the level. I can't stress how well designed the stages are. Everything feels so organic. Despite the fact that the stages were new to me, I knew how to react to them. I knew what to do and when. And I honestly feel even someone who hasn't played a Sonic game can do the same at least sometimes. This is a sign of great stage design. The game hosts two special stages. Jumping into the stars after hitting a checkpoint with a certain number of rings brings you to a blue sphere stage, a la Sonic 3. These stages, when completed, give you coins, which upon collecting enough, unlock various extras, such as changing Sonic's innate ability from Mania's Drop Dash to Sonic 3's Insta-Shield or Sonic CD. It also unlocks an And Knuckles mode, where you can have Knuckles as a second player, even if you pick Knuckles. 'Cause why wouldn't you? Best of all is being able to unlock the debug mode. That's right, the old school debug mode is back, complete with a level select and the ability to add things to levels on the fly. The second stage is accessed by finding hidden giant rings in the level. It plays like Sonic CD's special stage where you build up speed to catch up to the Chaos Emerald and collect it. All in all, there's a lot of stuff to do in this game, lots of stages, collectibles, and plenty of replay value. The bosses are pretty fun. They're not just recreations of the old bosses, but entirely remixed encounters, and a little more thought needs to be put in to take them down. I mean, you literally fight the Death Egg mech in the second zone of Green Hill, for God's sake. Sonic Mania again opts for a Sonic 3 formula with a mini-boss after the first zone and a Robotnik boss for the second. And holy shit, this soundtrack! It's fucking amazing. There is so much more I could talk about, but I just don't want to spoil it. I'm only showing a bit of the gameplay to give you an idea, and I kind of have to anyway, because Sega's kind of sensitive to footage being uploaded, but even then, if this game interests you, pick it up. At $20, it's not cheap for what it is, but it's certainly not highway robbery, and I do believe you'll get your money's worth. Be sure to subscribe if you want more reviews, leave a comment and let me know what you think, and if you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like? All are appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.